Now this natural selection is again of different types. That is also very important from examination point of view. There are mainly three types of natural selections. One is stabilizing or balancing selection. The second one is directional or progressive. And the third one is disruptive or diversifying. So next we will discuss types of natural selection. Now the types of natural, the first one is stabilizing, or you can tell that is balancing selection. Now in this what happens, usually in a particular population, they are present in a bell-shaped curve, because most of the organisms they usually they are of the intermediate types, if this is the mean, and the extremes are usually very less. In any case, you can take skin color or anything, the extremes are always usually less, while most of the individuals they are present in the intermediate, that is the mean stage. Now suppose what will happen? Now suppose the nature will select only the mean types and the peripheral ones, because the peripheral ones they are rejected. So in that case what will happen? When the peripherals are rejected, that means now these peripherals they will be rejected. They will be rejected. As a result, what will happen? The new one will be that means this is the mean one, that means the intermediate one will survive, while the peripheral ones they are rejected. That means these are rejected, while these are conserved. But let us give some examples to understand it in a better way. Now first example, let us give the example of the height of human beings. Height of human beings. Usually, what is the average height of human beings? Average height of human beings, it ranges from 5 foot 4 inches to 5 foot 10 inches. That means the average is 5 foot 4 inches to 5 foot 10 inches, almost, or 1-2 inches this side or that side. So this most of the people they come within this range, but those who are less than 4.5 inch, 4.6 inches, those who are less than 4 foot 6 inches, those who are taller than 6 foot 5 inches, what will happen? That means the nature will not favor the survival of these persons or individuals having less height and having more height. That is why most of the individuals they will come within this mid range. So this is that mid range, and the two peripheral ones they are rejected. Now let us give a second example. The second example is that of the weight of newly born babies. So usually when a new child is born, usually everybody asks, what is the weight? So the average weight it usually ranges from 7 to 8 pounds. When the newly born baby's weight is between 7 to 8 pounds, which will come around 3.5 kg, that means it is the normal weight. But if there will be some babies who are less than 5 pounds, that means 2 kg something, and those which are greater than 10 pounds, that means they become abnormal. They have overgrowth, while these are undergrowth. That means they will not survive. That is why they are eliminated. So most of the babies coming under this mean value, they will survive. They are conserved. So these are the two best examples from the human beings, one coming from the height and the other coming from the weight of the babies. Now come to the second one. The second one is a directional or progressive selection. Second one is a directional, or you can tell progressive selection. In this case, what happens? In this case, this is the normal population and this is the mean one. This is the mean one. Now suppose the individuals which are present, they will, that means the nature will favor only one peripheral, not the other one. So in that case, suppose nature will prefer only this side, not this side. That means the population of this side, that will be rejected. This is rejected, while this is conserved. So what will happen? Naturally, it will tilt towards the periphery. So when it will tilt, it will tilt like this. Now you see, this is the rejected one. That means the nature is not favoring them. While to this periphery which are present, these are conserved. That means the mean point was here, but that is now moving towards the right side, towards this side. This is the now mean. This is the mean. So naturally, in the next diagram, you can show it like this. This was the previous mean. Now this side has been eliminated and that side has been favored. So now the mean is shifted to that. Now this side, it is completely eliminated because the nature doesn't favor this one, it favors that one. But what are the examples? Now one of the best example is that of the industrial melanism exhibited by peppered moth, which we call as also that is Biston vitularia. So before the industrial revolution in England, in the forest areas, there was the trunks of the trees, they are filled with lichens, and the lichens are white. And there are two types of this peppered moth. One was white and the other was black. So the white peppered moth, usually they lie on the white lichen, so the predators cannot identify them. But the black ones can be easily identified by the predator. So naturally, the black ones are eliminated, while the white ones were preferred. This was before industrial revolution. But after industrial revolution, what happened? After industrial revolution, so many industries were there. From the industries, the sulfur dioxide was released, and the sulfur dioxide and other gases, the smoke, that turned all these trees black. That means the white color of the lichens were turned black. And usually the lichens are very sensitive to sulfur dioxide. When sulfur dioxide is released, the lichens were eliminated. So when the lichens were eliminated and the trees have turned black, now the black peppered moth was not identified the predator, while the white ones are easily identified. So now you see, after industrial pollution, the black ones are preferred, while the white ones are rejected. So ultimately, after industrial revolution, the black peppered moth, they survived, while the white ones eliminated. So these are this is one example. We can also take a second example. Second example is we can take that of the pesticide resistance. Pesticide resistant mosquitoes. Now, usually, before the use of DDT, there are mosquitoes are there, but very few mosquitoes are there which were resistant to pesticides like DDT. But since there is no DDT, there was no function. But when a DDT was spread to control the mosquitoes, majority of the mosquitoes are very susceptible to DDT, so they died. But those few resistant mosquitoes, they were not killed because they are resistant to DDT. So after spraying of DDT, these resistant mosquitoes, they rapidly grew. And within few years, there was full of only resistant mosquitoes, resistant to DDT. All mosquitoes became resistant while they susceptible to dies. And ultimately, even if DDT was spread, those mosquitoes are there and malaria was there. So you see how the graph tilted. Previously, the susceptible and they were present in equal. But after spraying of DDT, now the resistant mosquitoes, they are favored. That is, they tilted to one side, while those who were susceptible, they died. So these are the two best examples of this directional or progressive one. Now let us discuss the third one. The third one is known as the disruptive or diversifying. Third one is disruptive or diversifying selection. Now, in this case, this type of is very rare occurrence, of course. But here, what happens? Here, in this case, in case of this stabilizing one, most of the individuals they are present around the mean. While in this case, only one peripheral one is favored, while the others are rejected. But in this case, in case of disruptive or diversifying, the peripheral ones are selected, while the mean ones, intermediate ones, they are rejected. That is why we can tell that this disruptive or diversifying is just opposite to that of the stabilizing one. It is just opposite to stabilizing selection. So in this case, what happens, you see? This is one graph. So this is the mean point. This is the mean point. Now suppose the middle ones are not favored. the middle ones are not favored and the peripheral ones are only favored. That means the middle ones are rejected. These are rejected and these are favored. The peripheral ones are favored. So what will happen? Now you see in the next diagram it will be like this. That means previously here was the mean, but now the peripheral ones are favored, while the middle ones, they are rejected. These are rejected. So in the next diagram, how will it look like? Now in the next diagram, it will look like that means previously the mean point was here. Now the peripheral ones are preferred. They are conserved, while the middle ones are rejected. But what is the example in this case? Now here we can take the example of that of the black-bellied seed cracker. One example we can take black-bellied seed cracker. So usually in this case there are some small-bellied seed cracker, and there are some large-bellied seed cracker. Now the new ones which are produced, they have a different type of belly and they are unable to eat the seed crackers. That means the young ones with the different belly types were not favored. As a result, what happened? That means the small bellied and the large bellied, they were favored, while the middle types or those which do not have small or large bellies, they are not favored. That is one example. So this is example number one. Another example also we can take that of the wings of birds. Suppose the wings of birds, they may have short wings. Some birds have short wings, some birds have large wings. Or you can tell too short, too long. Some birds have two short wings, some have two large wings, while others have only large wings. Suppose the nature will favor either the short wings or the two short wings and two large wings. Those which are interpreted, they are not favored. So we'll get the graph like this. So these are the three different types of natural selection. That is the first one here we have discussed is stabilizing or balancing selection. This is the directional or progressive selection. And this is the disruptive diversifying selection. And usually many questions are asked from this. So let us discuss some questions. What type of questions are usually asked? Let us see. So one question we can take that artificial selection to obtain cows yielding higher milk higher milk output represents A choice directional selection, the second one is a disruptive selection, the third one is stabilizing followed by disruptive, and the fourth choice is stabilizing selection. Now this question was asked in NEET 2017. NEET 2017. So I have told you earlier that so many questions are asked. Now come to the second question. Now the second question is, which type of selection is industrial melanism? Industrial melanism observed in moth piston. So A choice stabilizing, B choice directional, C choice disruptive, and D choice artificial. So this question that is from NCERT exemplar. So I hope you have a very clear idea what is actually natural selection, what are the different types of natural selection. This part is very important from examination point of view. Thank you very much for watching it. God bless you. Have a good day, guys.